Hey guys, this is Ray from PhoneArena with the video comparison between the HTC Windows Phone 8X and the Samsung Galaxy S3. Now, we already compared the Windows Phone 8X with the best iOS device out there, the iPhone 5, and it didn't look very good for HTC's offering here. So let's see how it's going to fare against the best that Android has to offer, the Galaxy S3. When it comes to design, it is obvious that the HTC handset has a bit more style to it, while the Galaxy S3, well, it's just not much of a looker. But when it comes to the materials that they're made of and their in-hand feel, well, we have to say that Samsung's handset feels better in the hand because of its rounded corners and the smooth, glossy plastic that the manufacturer has used, which feels very well in the hand and provides a very good grip. On the other side, the Windows Phone 8X is made of this soft touch, almost rubber-like coating here on the back, which attracts a lot of fingerprints and other dust and such kind of stuff, which is then a bit hard to remove from it. Meanwhile, it doesn't feel very good in the hand, mainly because of these sharp edges here, which don't feel very well in the hand, and the grip is very weak. None of these phones has very well functioning physical keys, but at least the power lock and unlock key of the Galaxy S3 is a bit better than what we have on the 8X, which is quite unresponsive key here. Comparing the screen quality of these two handsets here, it's obvious that the panel of the HTC Windows Phone 8X is the better one, because it's brighter and its colors are more true to life. With the Galaxy S3, you're gonna have a bit of a trouble reading it if you're outside when there's bright ambient light. You know, it will be harder to read this display. And its colors are more on the colder side, which means that the color white, for example, will appear a bit bluish, whereas this is not the case with the Windows Phone 8X. Resolution-wise, the HTC Windows Phone 8X is also the better one because it uses a standard RGB matrix, and due to its smaller screen size, it means that it has a higher pixel density. It's above 340, so it's a very clean and crisp display, very easy to read. But the Galaxy S3 is still very good because it's pentile and it's bigger, but its HD resolution is just enough for it to allow a very clean, very clear image to be displayed, so no issues in this department for both of these handsets. The software that's found on both of these devices is extremely different. On one hand, on the Windows Phone 8X here we have this lifestyle reality, which centers around these squares and rectangles, which can show you additional information like the number of downloads you have pending from the marketplace, for example, or the number of messages you have received. It can show you random pictures of your contacts, your next appointments, a nice slideshow of your pictures and such kind of stuff, which is really neat. But at the same time, you can do pretty much the same thing with the Galaxy S3 and its use of widgets. So it's basically up to the consumer's tastes, we guess. On one hand, we have this flat looking environment here with Windows Phone, which is actually very stylish, and it has its own unique style. Whereas with the Galaxy S3, we are treated to a bit of a more standard looking experience, you know, multiple home screens, widgets, app icons, but at the same time it's implemented extremely well here on the Galaxy S3, and you can get more functionality right from the home screen thanks to the widgets, to the all kinds of widgets you can use on the Galaxy S3 compared to the 8X. So these are pretty much the main differences between the user interfaces of these both devices. We would say that the Galaxy S3 is a bit more functional, but at the same time, if you don't really need such kind of functionality right from your home screen, or if you don't really use widgets, we guess it'll be up entirely to your taste as far as design and UI goes to determine which one will suit you better. We definitely prefer the typing experience of the Galaxy S3 because it has a bigger screen, which allows it to have a bigger QWERTY keyboard in portrait mode. But even if we turn the handsets to landscape mode, you see that the keyboard of the HTC Windows Phone 8X doesn't really take up the whole available screen space here, because we have these keys to the right side and this empty space to the left side. So typing is still pretty good with the keyboard of the 8X, but the one of the Galaxy S3 is simply larger, which we guess makes it a bit more comfortable. We don't like that the keys of the Galaxy S3 don't seem to be high enough, but this can be easily fixed by installing a third-party QWERTY keyboard, which is not really an option with Windows Phone 8X. So this is one area where the Galaxy S3 and its Android OS win. It's very hard to pick a winner in the browsing department because both handsets are extremely capable for executing this task. Both Internet Explorer 10 and the enhanced Samsung stock browser on the Galaxy S3 do a marvelous job. The one on the Galaxy S3 works just a bit better, performs just a bit better than Internet Explorer 10 here, but all in all, the differences are really negligible here in this department. Still, you can install you can install Flash Player on the Galaxy S3 if you download it from somewhere, because it's currently not available and it won't be anymore in the Play Store, but you can find it online and you can install it on the Galaxy S3 and thus unlock the beautiful world of Flash content, which is something you cannot do on the HTC Windows Phone 8X. You can obviously expect to find a bit more customization options with the camera interface of the Galaxy S3, but Windows Phone 8 on the HTC Windows Phone 8X also does a very decent job of allowing you to tinker with various stuff like the exposure, contrast, saturation, even white balance and such kind of stuff. Both have 8 megapixel cameras and both take surprisingly good pictures, although we think that the Galaxy S3 does a slightly better job with its images because they tend to be the colors it reproduces tend to be a bit closer to reality compared to what we have on the 8X here, the colors of which are more on the warmer side, a bit too much, whereas the Galaxy S3 can be a bit colder than it should, but it's still closer to reality, and that's why we consider it the winner in this category, even though it doesn't really outshine the Windows Phone 8X in the details department. Pretty much the same observations are valid when it comes to video recording on both of these devices. The Galaxy S3 capturing this time captures slightly better detail levels and at the same time produces more realistic colors than the Windows Phone 8X. So it's another close battle here in this department, but still the Galaxy S3 manages to get the W. Both devices are great for multimedia consumption, but we would say that the Galaxy S3 is the better one in terms of movie watching because it has the bigger screen and the Super AMOLED is very appropriate for multimedia consumption, really. Although we would say that the bundled earphones of the Windows Phone 8X are a bit more comfortable than what you get by Samsung here, because the Samsung earphones require you to put them really deeply into your ears, which is not very comfortable. Thankfully, both handsets managed to present us with very good sound quality during course, this goes for both their earpieces and microphones. In addition, their noise cancellation technologies do a very good job of eliminating the ambient noise that's around you. If we have to compare their speakers, however, here is the one of the 8X. Here we should say that the Galaxy S3 is definitely the better one. It has the better speaker, which is right here, because it is a bit louder and it has more high frequencies, which allows it to appear even louder, and overall it makes the Windows Phone 8X actually sound a bit muffled. So definitely our choice in this department would be the Galaxy S3. At the end of the day, we would say that the Galaxy S3, in our opinion, is the better handset of the two, and this is for a number of reasons. To start with, it's made of better materials which feel better in the hand, and it also has superior hardware features like a bigger screen. Normally, we wouldn't say that the bigger screen is necessarily an advantage over an opponent, because you know it's all a matter of choice and stuff, but considering that the HTC Windows Phone 8X has a smaller screen and at the same time feels worse in the hand, we'll definitely say that the bigger screen of the Galaxy S3 here is to its advantage. And we can also add a lot of other stuff like support for Flash Player here, great customization capabilities, and also the vast application catalog available in the Google Play Store. And all of this kind of makes the Galaxy S3 a much better choice currently compared to the Windows Phone 8X. Probably the future Windows Phone 8 devices or Windows Phone 9 devices will be able to seriously compete against the best that Android has to offer, but not this time. This was our video comparison between the HTC Windows Phone 8X and the Galaxy S3, but if you'd like to learn even more about these handsets, feel free to check us out at PhoneArena.com. Thanks for watching.